What are ways that jobs basically tell you welcome to Death Row Records?
In other words, like you ain't going nowhere.
Like, this is it, buddy. You ain't going nowhere. We got you. We don't even got you in a 360. We got you in a 720.
There's a way to say professionally. I can't put it together right now. My
Come
brain's
on,
not.
this is your department. I feel like this is your department.
Yeah, it'd be something like this isn't the professional way, but somewhere it's like you haven't mastered the job that you have now. How can you go to another job? I'm just
Oh,
there's
but
that
like,
one.
what if they're telling you, but I've done this and I've had this experience and this experience and this experience, and I've been here for some time now. So, and in my performance reviews, y'all give me y'all saying I'm doing my job well. So either are
That's
you
the thing, right? You have it in writing from them that you're doing a good job, right?
yes.
So there shouldn't be any pushback on that.
So
Like it's
then,
just
if you say that, how do they then try to tell you, "Welcome to Death Row Records"? You ain't
it's
going nowhere,
it's a
boy.
lot harder to tell someone walking to death row when they put in writing that you're good at your job. Like that's a whole nother animal. I guess when um, some places don't allow lateral moves, so someone might make up some BS policy about lateral moves, or they can give the illusion that they'll let you leave. Because where I work at, before someone can move departments, they have to get a reference from their current manager. I'm assuming it's something similar where you are.
Uh, so it would be like where I'm at. It would be like, if you found like a lateral sort of temporary job stretch
Mm-hmm.
or whatever, you essentially, if the hiring manager for that role like wants you, you basically go back to your manager and be like, hey, do you mind? And it's a rob Peter to pay Paul sort of thing. Like, they have to be
Wait,
cool with it.
they make you go tell them?
Well, I mean, you do have to apply for it, and then like they
Right.
also, and on that you have to kind of let them know who your hiring manager is. So either way, your hiring manager kind of knows, hey, like, we want this guy to do X, Y, Z.
Oh yeah. I thought
Yeah,
you meant if the hiring manager in the new role wants
but
to offer you.
technically, you are, if you see. So it's also one of those things where if you see something that you may want to temporarily stretch into, you are technically supposed to talk to your manager, but my thing is, it's like, okay, so I'm telling you I want to leave the label.
Right. Someone gonna come with a baseball bat.
Yeah, so you might as well just go ahead and do what you
You,
got to do.
you know what's funny? I'm in that same situation. There was a role in another department that I was interested in, and I applied for. Same kind of thing.
What?
Like, so, well, I think I found out this week, but like, let's say they offer me that job. It's a lateral move. The new hiring director would have to tell my current manager, yeah, it's not asking. It's kind of because for us, hiring managers can't block a transfer. So pretty much it's like you telling them, yo, I'm taking him. Let's talk about a transition plan.
Need that.
Yeah, because like where
All
I
right.
work,
How would you feel if you on the label and you hearing that one of your artists has been chatting with other executives from another label about going to their label?
I feel like a good leader would try to have the conversation as to like what are you looking for in your next role and trying to get you there, but not you. You sound like you're dealing with a Suge Knight, and they,
Not necessarily me, but you've seen it with other people that
yeah,
they do kind of get a little Suge Knightish.
yeah. I feel like it's just insecurity on their leadership. Like they are insecure in their leadership that someone wants to leave. I can't coddle adults, man. Like I
Because
don't.
here be the thing, it don't be it don't be it's hard to say without saying, but
Yeah, it's
like,
hard. Yeah, it's hard. You and I can talk offline about this because yeah, like your career shouldn't be hindered because someone
doesn't want
doesn't
you to move.
doesn't see. So my next question for you is: have there been a lot of people on your team in the same position? Have there been a lot of people trying to jump the label?
A lot of people have been because they've been on the label for so long.
They haven't, but they want to, right? Or they're
Yeah,
comfortable.
there's a lot of people who want to jump ship from the
Yeah,
label. There's a
there
good number
there
of
it
people
is.
who
That's it. So if you're a leader and 2/3 of your team went off this ride, what does that say to that leader's leader? Well, what's going on here? I see 5 people on a 12-person team. They all applied to new jobs within the company. Like that's not a good look. That's a terrible look.
But what if HR is already telling what if HR been kind of knowing, hey, a lot of folks from XYZ department consistently are applying.
That's above your pay grade, but I will say as someone.
But you feel like they know, right? You feel like they definitely know that.
Yeah. So how can I put this in an example? You have a zit on your face. You know you have a zit on your face, but everyone keeps telling you, "Hey, man, you have a zit on your face." Your leadership is the person with the zit on their face. They know everybody want to leave, and now HR coming to them saying, "Hey, man, everybody want to leave. What's going on here?"
So yeah, I guess if you have a lot of folk leaving, then it's like or a lot of folk stretching, or
now next thing you know, your leader on the pit plan because half their team is trying to jump ship. That's not a good look. That's the part I needed. If everybody trying to jump off the record label,
I would say you just meet a lot of folk who are like, all right, I'm trying to get on this role, or I'm looking for trying to get on this team and this team. Some folk like, yo, how do you say this? Where the label office is, we trying to get to the other label office because they got some label offices in the Big Apple in the City of Angels.
Yeah, man. And I'm assuming because a lot of people leaving your team isn't a bad thing if you're pushing them to the next step of their career. But that doesn't sound like this is the case. And it sounds like everybody knows that people want to leave this team because it's not good leadership.
It's more like not good. Not. I wouldn't say that. It's more like there's only but so much vertical movement here. So if it ain't gonna happen on this label, there's more vertical movement in other labels.
So it might not be as if that leader in HR understands that, it might not be as bad compared to there is vertical movement, but don't nobody want to stay on this label.
Yeah, no, I ain't one of them.
I would say keep doing what you're doing. No one's going to advocate for you better than you.
That's what you can do. That's all you can do, right?
That's all you can do.
And speaking of advocating for themselves, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 215 of the Speak On It podcast. You already know when you see this Nas fade with a new background, new backdrop for you, it can only be one brother, the good brother, Los D Mix, joined every Tuesday by the biggest ocean on the East Coast in the background, joined by the baldest head on the East Coast, smoothest baldest head on the East Coast, Mr. Danny Ocean. How we doing, brother?
Doing great. It's been a great week. It's gonna be a great week. Yeah, it's been a good week. It's only Tuesday.
It's been a good week. Shout out to the Going for Two Network. Shout out Jeff. Shout out Kyle. Shout out Bam. Shout out all the homies that are tuning in either with us live or listening to this afterwards. We really appreciate your love and support here on the Speak On It podcast. Danny, we have a lot of NFL to talk about. Well, a good number of NFL, a good amount of NFL to talk about. There's been a lot of movement today because today is Franchise Tag Tuesday. So there's been a lot of movement on that. But let's start in the NFL. It's good, Bam. Let's start in the NFL. The NFL, they announced a new NFL salary cap of $301.2 million. Danny, talk to me as a team with a GM that taught me a lot of what I know. Is this a big deal or is this no deal?
It's a big deal for teams like the Eagles who borrow from future years for success right now. The cap has continuously grown as long as I can remember. And the smart GMs, I wouldn't say the smart GMs because there are different ways to build a team. I would just say how we build, how we bet that the cap grows every year. So the amount of dead money in future years won't be as harmful percentage-wise as if compared to if that dead money was on the current cap, right? So if the cap goes up, $10 million, then $5 million dead cap hit from a player who's not on the team anymore doesn't hurt as much as if the cap were subtracted by $10 million. So I'll say, from an Eagles standpoint, or from GMs who build like Howie, the only problem is that you can beat the Saints if you're not careful. But it's always a good deal. It's always a big deal when the cap grows. That means more money, players get
Now,
paid.
when you say the Saints, you mean a team that's paying a lot of players?
Yeah, right. So the Saints are playing a lot of players who don't play for them anymore. It's just a lot of dead caps, so they're kind of strapped. So I think like over the next, I mean, we've kind of seen it. And I think we'll continue to see it. The Saints are going to have to make some real hard decisions on good players. Like, do they extend Chris Olave? Do they have the money to extend Chris Olave, or do they try to trade Chris and draft his replacement, like a Cardinal Tate, to get out of the salary cap hell that they're in?
Jeez, like that?
I mean, the Saints made some. I mean, I don't know their dead cap.
Who are some of the Eagles when we look at free agents and stuff like that? Who are they deciding over?
I mean, the big one is Jalen Phillips. I feel like
the defensive lineman, the tackle.
Yeah, the D lineman is the biggest Eagle.
The one that did that thing.
No, what are you talking about? You talking about Jalen Carter?
I'm talking about Jalen Carter. Okay.
Yeah, Jalen. But that's another one. So you get Jalen Carter's extension right now. Jalen Phillips is a free agent. Reed Blankenship's probably gone to Dallas. Dallas Goedert's probably gone. He's already said he's leaving.
Wait, Reed Blankenship is going to Dallas?
I mean, it's something that makes sense. He's a free agent. Christian Parker was the Eagles DB coach. He's now the D coordinator in Dallas. I think I'll call it now. Reed Blankenship and Nakobe Dean are going to be Cowboys. That means something that makes sense.
Okay. What else?
I think that's it for I think the biggest thing is, do they play Jalen? Like, what's the number for Jalen Phillips, and then everything else falls in line.
Do you think the Eagles are going to take a step forward this year? Because
No.
I don't think the Eagles are going to be that good next year.
I don't think. I think the defense is not going to be as elite. I think offensively they'll be better. Defensively, they won't be better, and it's going to even itself out. They'll probably be.
Why do you think offensively they're going to be better?
Because there's an adult in the room. It seems like.
Who? Adam Sinovich?
No, Sean Mannion.
Oh, Sean Mannion. That's what I meant. Adam Sinovich. He's our OC. Sean Mannion. You really think? Listen,
it's not Sean Mannion. It's the fact that they hired Gerard Johnson today. Gerard Johnson was the Texans quarterback coach, and then they hired Gazard, who was the Bucs OC this past year. It sounds like they're really investing into this Kyle Shanahan, Sean McVay, Matt LaFleur offense, and they're surrounding Sean Mannion with other branches of that tree. Here's the thing: it can't be no worse than the Nick Sirianni offense. It can't be any worse than hitches and goes.
Listen, hot take: Nick Sirianni. This is your last year in Philly. I think it
is. I think it is.
What about Fletcher Cox? Thanks, Kyle. Or Bam. I'm sorry.
Fletcher Cox hasn't played football in 4 years. What is?
I think he meant Brandon Graham.
I think he meant Brandon Graham. I think Brandon Graham will be back. He
needs that money.
I don't think he. I just think he just enjoys football. I feel like he doesn't want to go through training camp. He doesn't want to do all that. So I wouldn't be shocked. Last preseason game, like he says, "Yeah, I'll be back." I just feel like he doesn't want to go through training camp. That's what it was last year. He didn't want to go through training camp. He didn't want to play in the summer. And then like week 5, it was like, all right, like it's cold.
Wait, but how does that even make sense? Yo, you don't want to go through all the same things everyone else got to go through?
He's 38 years old. I wouldn't want to go through it either.
All right, but they can work in vet days and whatnot.
Every day a vet day when you're 38.
Yeah.
Every day, but I am excited for the new Eagles offense. I know AJ's probably going to be gone, but they're 4 years too late in leading into the McVay, Shanahan, LaFleur tree. But like anything better than that Nick Sirianni.
Yeah, and listen, what's going to be funnier for you? Because I think one of these two scenarios are going to happen. And I'm going to think on this throughout the entirety of the offseason. I think the Giants and or the Cowboys are going to be a better team than the Eagles next year.
I think the Cowboys will be. I think the Cowboys will win the division next year. I think the Cowboys will win the division next year. I think the Giants are so they lack talent on so many levels. I think they'll be
What
competent.
levels? They got some they got some talent. They
have a great D line. Malik Neighbors is coming off an ACL tear. Their O line is
Wandale Robinson not bad either.
He's a free agent. Wandale's a free agent.
Come on to Green Bay, Wandale.
Wandale's a free agent. They have an elite defensive line. That's it. And that D line really didn't do anything last year, for real, for real.
All right, we'll see.
I think the Cowboys, though, I believe Christian Parker made Quinyon Mitchell and Cooper DeJean into all pros in year 2. Like, Christian Parker is the truth. I think the Dallas defense doesn't need to be top 5; it just need to be top 12, and I think he can do that.
Okay. What are your thoughts on David Montgomery getting traded to the Texans?
For me, it's kind of crazy. Like, we knew he was dissatisfied, right? Like, low key, he was kind of pissed Jahmyr Gibbs was getting more shine and more carries than him. To which I would say, yeah. And Jahmyr, I would say, yeah, dog. That's kind of why they drafted him in the first round, is to be the lead back. But those two together, I feel like they were such a good combination. Like, I understand where Montgomery's coming from. Shelf life was low for a running back. Like, he probably wants one more payday, his last payday. But from a team building standpoint, I think they fit perfectly together.
Yeah. Now they got to go find another power back. But listen, all they're going to do is go out here and sign Tyler Algier.
That's it. That's all they're going to do. And if you're David, you would say, well, shit, you gave him that money.
Could have gave it to me.
Could have gave it to me. You know I work here. So, yeah, I'm sad Sonic and Knuckles is no more. But
well, you know, it's funny because when they played good, they were Sonic and Knuckles. And when they played bad, they were Ass and Cheeks. So
how long you been sitting on that one? How long you been waiting?
I didn't come up with that. I can't take credit for that one.
Okay.
What about the Jets franchise tagging Breece Hall?
Just a terrible organization, man. On paper, the Jets have a good team. They have a top 10 wide receiver. They have a top 5 to 8 running back. O-line's not bad. I feel bad for Breece Hall, man. Like, he did his time. Let that man go.
Hey, you know who did get let go today?
Who?
Trey Hendrickson. 1 whole year of covering this. They finally let this man go.
Where's he end up?
Now, will they do the same? Will Vegas do the same with Max Crosby, you think?
Hell no. They're not trading him.
Speaking of trades, talk to me about this A.J. Brown asking price is a first-round pick and another top 100 pick.
Here's what I think Howie is doing. I heard this today, so I can't.
Wait, where did this come from?
So this came from the Combine that Howie wants a first-round pick, and the basis is the Davante Adams trade, because Davante was like around the same age as AJ when that trade happened. So that's kind of like the base for it, is the Davante Adams trade. So thank you, Green Bay. Here's what I think is happening, and I heard this today, and I think Howie is trying to raise the price so he can keep AJ. He can go back to AJ and say, hey, AJ, we tried to trade you. The league doesn't value you the way we value you. You might as well stay in Philadelphia.
Playing in PR games?
Playing in PR games. But I've said it all along. I don't want it to happen, but I think he's gone. I think how it comes down on that asking price of AJ is adamant that he wants to leave. And I think he wants to leave.
Why do you think that?
I feel like that relation, it feels like that relationship has run its course. He has been discontent for 2 years. They just won the Super Bowl last year. Like, I think we talked about this last time. Like, after the Carolina game last year, they said, AJ, what's wrong with the passing game? And his answer was the passing.
So AJ and Jalen aren't really good friends.
I don't know. I feel like Brandon Graham let that slip. Was it 2 years ago? So
the Super Bowl year.
Yeah, it was Super Bowl year. Brandon Graham does a radio show, and they were asking about Jalen and AJ, and Brandon Graham was like, "Well, 1 is trying, but 11 need to be more open."
Do you know he didn't mean to say it, but you know what he was trying to say?
Yeah, you know exactly what he was trying to say. It just feels like AJ. See, Cal
So
said the more he thinks about it, the more he thinks the Eagles are trying to convince AJ to start the season. And if he's not happy, they'll trade him. I think that happened this year at the trade deadline because there were reports that he was asking for a trade after the Rams game. And it sounds like Howie was like, hey, play out the year. And if you still want to go, like, we'll trade you.
AJ, you can't keep doing this, brother. You can't keep doing this. Not everywhere you go.
That's what he's every year he's been Eagle. He's had 1,000 yards, and he's had 2 1,400-yard seasons.
So then, what's his? That's what I'm saying. Like with a new OC, you still trying to leave? Like they passed the ball.
Here's the thing. Here's what I would say. I think when the Eagles first opened the OC role, they wanted someone with previous play calling experience, and I think that was to appease to AJ. And then once those big names are off the board, it's like, okay, well then what's like who might be the best mind? Because I don't think you go to AJ and be like, hey AJ, Sean Maynard's our OC, and he's like, oh bet. But if you go to AJ and say, hey AJ, Mike McDaniel's our new OC, like that might be enough to keep him there. I don't think Sean Maynard's enough. Like that name doesn't carry much weight.
But you could say, but not if you frame it like. Remember, although when we played Green Bay, didn't he come from Green Bay? I believe.
Yeah, Sean Mannion was your QB coach.
Yeah, like they ran the ball a lot with Josh Jacobs. They passed the ball a lot. When they did, they were very effective. So I imagine that was because the Packers. Listen, a lot of people like to hate on the Packers, but a lot of people snipe a lot of personnel from the Packers.
Listen, y'all was out here talking about fire Matt LaFleur. I wish he would. Fire.
Who y'all? Who was y'all?
I'm just saying, like the Packers fan base, like at the end of the year, you're like, oh man, what would life be without Matt? Fire. Go ahead, let him go.
I didn't say that.
Go ahead.
Kyle. That was Kyle.
Go ahead, let him go. Go ahead, let Matt LaFleur go if you want to. And I'll say this: apparently, like there are reports that Sean Mannion, when he interviewed for the role, he interviewed with the thought that AJ would still be on the team, and a lot of the focus was on AJ. So I think that would also tie into how he's driving up the price. He's not going to get it, and AJ will be Eagle, but I think AJ's gone.
In disappointing news, depending on who you are, the Cardinals are releasing Kyler Murray, and basically, this is an expensive way for someone to say, we just don't want you here.
It's like $47 million in dead money. And then like the Dolphins are talking about releasing Tua. What do we do? Like the reason you give quarterbacks these guarantees is so that you don't end up in a situation like this. You can't do this because it's a poison pill, essentially. And these teams like, nah, we good.
My thing is, if they that bad, and you was willing to give them all that money, shouldn't you have to stand there and face the music when it comes to all this? Like you just got to keep sending them out there until they get good.
At least for this year. Hey man, we're
gonna get down to a lot of these general managers will be like, I didn't draft them and stuff like that, and it's like we got to make a move quick because my job's on the line. Like I got to make something shake in the next 2 years or so, or my job's on the line. Don't you think?
Yeah, but my question is, all right, so you get rid of Kyler Murray, who's available? Like who out there? Who you gonna go
get? Captain Kirk.
On one leg. That you gonna take
he a year post removed.
He's 39 years old.
Yo, here's my thing. Yo, my man Captain Kirk been getting money for a long time. He gonna find a way. He gonna find a way to keep him a little bag.
Wasn't he the first QB to get a fully guaranteed contract in Minnesota with the 4 years, $100 million? Wasn't that him?
Kirk, hey, let me ask you something about Kirk. Do you think when he votes, he's voting Democrat?
No, his hat redder than my hoodie.
Really?
The man's name is Kirk Cousins.
What that mean? Kirk Franklin, a preacher, and he said
he wear a red hat too, probably.
And he also said he'll send someone to meet the Lord too.
He said, "Brother, with blood still fresh in the streets, you sure you want to ask me that question?" That's the same tier as when Noriega tweeted about Doja Cat showing feet in racial chat rooms. She in the racial chat room showing feet?
She was in the racial chat rooms showing feet. I can't believe it. I can't believe it.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I got a story. I'm at an event on Saturday,
Mm-hmm.
a little function, and they had the part of the function where they having the D9 come stroll and do they
okay,
and they doing that, and they get to they get to 1913, the Deltas coming. You're just seeing all these black women. Mind you, this is on the last day of Black History Month. So see all these lines of black women coming through. Wait, can you hear me still?
I can hear you. You oh, now you're on mute. There you
Hear
go.
me still?
Yep.
All right. All these this line of black women. Through. Stepping.
Okay, now your audio is muffled.
Well, can you hear me?
There you are. Okay.
All
So
right,
they were
can you hear me?
stepping.
They stepping. It's one beautiful black woman that go by. 2, 3, 4. And then in the back here, I see all out of rhythm, out of step. A white woman doing just like this, trying to step with them. Mind you, this is the part of the DJ set where, you know what I mean, he playing stroll music.
Right.
And on the stage is this white woman. And when I tell you, you could tell this woman was, she maybe had a few too many drinks. And she did not pick up that this was coordinated and that she should not be this.
Oh no.
But they was nice. So
no.
ain't nobody like kick off the stage. But the worst thing happened was that
She fell off the stage.
no, all the black folk was up there just watching, and eventually somebody got a video, brother. When I see this video, here's the thing: I remember seeing it live and saying to myself, "Nah, she know good and damn well she should not be." I think I said to somebody I was like, "Now she know good and damn well she should not be up there." Dog, one of my coworkers today. Well, I'm not gonna, not one of my coworkers, because it wasn't a coworker. Somebody I knew showed me a video. Dog, I can't even. When I tell you, as soon as I saw it, I thought I was dreaming, or I thought I was a little. Know what I mean? Soon I was like, yo, you just brought this memory right back to me. Yo, I my stomach was hurting. I was laughing so hard at work.
Oh my God.
Because then I remembered, bro, it was maybe one of the funniest things I've ever seen in my life.
Two Americas.
America, listen, all you seen is one black woman, 2 black women, 3 black women, 4 black women, beautiful black women. And here you see out of rhythm.
The question is, who brought her and who didn't keep an eye on her?
I think in the video I hear somebody saying, "I know she did not." You hear somebody in the background saying, "No, she did. I know she did not." Listen, and to those who may not know, I know she did not in the black community is the same as "you need to leave." It's in that same realm. It's in the same realm.
Lord.
Yeah.
Friends don't let friends do that. She ain't got no real friends.
Yeah, would you think that was a little racially aggressive?
I would say traditionally, yes, but it sounded like she was just drunk Thought it was some sort of line dance. Shoot, I bet you.
Mind you, the DJ did already go through the line dance segments. We'd already, so she thought it was the re-release. She thought we spun the block on the line dances.
She was like, "Oh, I've never seen this line before."
But here's the thing: by the time, listen, the AKs went through, then the Deltas, then the Kappas, the Alphas, the Qs. It's like, all right, shorty. Bam asked, "Have you ever seen white fraternity stroll?"
No, I've seen them fight.
I didn't even know they had a stroll.
They don't stroll. I've never seen like the Lambdas, like the Hispanic, they be strolling, and that's as far as I've seen on the rainbow.
Wait, what Hispanics be doing?
They be strolling a little bit. I think they're called Lambdas. Let me look this up.
Bam said, she said, "I love Cupid Shuffle." That's funny.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're called the Lambdas.
What the hell is that?
I remember when I was in college. Yeah, there was a lot. There was a little, and they would do a little strolling. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, band. Yeah, they pretty much still black frat stroll. Like they'd be kind of be shimmying like the Kappas or whatever, if my memory serves me correctly. But that was 15 years ago.
How do they get away with this?
The ones that I knew were just some real cool dudes. Like they were immersed in the culture anyway.
No, I think it's a little hilarious, honestly. She was in that thing so uncoordinated.
Was she cute at least?
I don't see beauty.
That's a no. So that's 0 for 2.
I don't see beauty, my brother.
Oh, okay.
I don't see beauty.
How noble.
Listen, I'm trying to be like you. Danny talking about Lambda from Revenge of the Nerds.
Never seen it.
Never seen it. Never seen it. Who else got franchise tag today that we need to talk about? How about the Bears center? Go ahead.
Kyle Pitts got franchise tag like last week. George Pickens got the franchise tag.
Mm-hmm. The Vikings are open to trading Jonathan. What's his name? I forgot his first name.
Aaron Jones?
No. Grenard. Jonathan Grenard.
Oh dang! They getting rid of. Are they in cap hell too?
Cap issues. And Colts used the transition tag on Daniel Jones.
So that means Daniel Jones is going to look for a deal, and the Colts have the chance to match it.
What would you do if you're the Colts in that situation?
Again, it goes back to the Cardinals. If Daniel Jones isn't your quarterback, then who's your quarterback?
He tore his Achilles, though.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's going to start the season on IR, but you can't go back to AR. You already told him he can seek a trade. What's your other option? There's only one Jacoby Brissett.
Think they bring Jacoby Brissett back?
He in Arizona.
Oh, you think the Cardinals are going to move forward with him as their starting QB?
Who else you got? This is the game of who going to call Justin Fields first.
Lord have mercy.
Who gonna call Justin first?
Justin gonna be making money at the Wazoo for life.
So who trade for a backup? Because I don't think anyone trying to pay Malik Willis. Maybe Arizona will, but I know the Colts probably not because they're gonna pay Daniel. So what are we doing here?
What are your thoughts on Stephen A. saying that if the Jets traded up and possibly got the number 1 overall pick and drafted Fernando Mendoza, he would be subjected to imminent misery?
Stephen A. lying about that. If that happens, Mendoza should say he should pull Eli Manning. Because at least in Vegas, Tom Brady's there. But Jesus. Kyle, I don't think the Dolphins can afford to pay Malik Willis because they're going to have to pay for Tua's dead cap hit. Like, they're not going to put $100 million. in the QB position in 1 year. You got to do some real tricky cap stuff to pay Malik Willis and Tua.
Aaron Jones being released from the Vikings, I believe.
Yeah, I think you just said they sticky caps, man.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. Tyler Linderbaum. Did you hear about that? The center from the Ravens.
He retired, right?
No. That's the center from the Bears. He retired. His name is speaking of which, his name is Dahlman, Drew Dahlman.
He's 27, right?
Yeah, he retired at 27. He left Stanford, spent 4 seasons in Atlanta, 1 season in Chicago, made the decision to suddenly retire. He was Chicago's marquee free agent signing during the 25 offseason when he inked a 3-year, $42 million contract with the Bears.
Hope he's okay.
Yeah.
And also, I'm talking about Justin Fields to Miami. He's not talking about Malik Willis to Miami.
Dahlman's cap hit for 2026 was $14 million, although $9.5 million of his base salary was guaranteed last year. His retirement can void that guarantee. The Bears would be accountable for only for the remaining $4 million in prorated signing bonuses in 2026 and 2027. Okay. They could also choose to recoup part of that bonus, as $2 million of the signing bonus has not been paid out yet. Okay. Depending on how much of Dahlman's signing bonus the Bears regain, his retirement could save $10 million or more against the SAP. The team will now be in the market for a center and a left tackle this offseason. Ozzy Trapillo, who started 7 games at left tackle, will miss majority of the 26th season while he recovers from a knee injury sustained in the first round of the playoffs.
Okay. It's tough, man. That's why we've talked about it before, man. When you get a season like the Bears got last year, you got to take advantage. Same with the year before, you got to take advantage.
That's why, as we transition to fantasy football, I'm so glad I was able to take advantage of my RSO roster. When something about these inaugural seasons. I'm doing good. 2 years back to back, I was able to win an inaugural league's fantasy championship, and now it's time for me to really get in the mindset to defend my title. It's honestly, I look back on it, that team had no business winning that championship. I didn't even know it was a super flex lineup, so I luckily signed Joe Flacco, and then luckily my big hitters were my big hitters, and I was able to do what I needed to do to make some shit shape. But I'm excited for year 2 now that I know a little bit more of what I'm doing. And yeah, I think Kyle, keep me honest here. Everyone, the people who are free agents are everyone who's not under contract for next season. So I'm trying to log in so I can see.
Yeah, I'm logged into mine. I have some questions. I was going to ask for some help if I could share my screen.
Go ahead, brother.
Help me understand what I'm looking at. Hold on, if I can share my screen. Let me share this one. I just shared. Can y'all see it?
I see you are sharing your entire screen. Stop sharing. Dead ass. That's all I'm seeing. Okay. Not even BSing.
That's annoying. I'm trying to. Because I have my let's try it one more time. I think I know what's wrong. Because I'm trying to figure out like what I'm doing here. All right.
So here's a note. It says the franchise tag designation period ends 3 days prior to your league's rookie draft. You can now choose to finalize your franchise tag before that date using our finalized roster feature. Teams must have enough salary cap room to fill their rosters before the end of the franchise tag designation period. Teams not in compliance may have players automatically drop. The offseason ends 3 days prior to your league's free agency auction. Kyle, can you explain what that means a little bit?
Yeah, because right now, let's do this one more time.
Yeah, hold on. I believe I have Breece Hall on my roster.
All right, there we go. So right now I have 100. Can y'all see this?
No, we're still seeing the same thing, brother.
All right.
You want to use my team as an example?
Yeah, because right now everyone on my roster is a free agent except Lamar, Baker, Hampton, and Tech, and Evan Ingram. So what happens if I tag them? I'm going to hide the chat, but Kyle, we can still see you. Yeah, so if you go to contracts, yes, you have 67 million in cap space. I have 148 million. So I have a lot of room to play with. There are people I want to keep on my roster. Like I'd like to keep Kyle Monangai. So what happens if I click tag for Kyle Monangai?
Okay. I see what you're saying. So, all right. So let's use my team as an example, right? So
Right.
If I'm just to look at this and guess, I'm seeing that the people that have drop under their name or drop next to their name are on my team and in contract right now. It makes sense because remember last year I extended Elik Ayamaner on the Ross or on the screen. We know. Oh yeah, and I made Puka and Jetta as the two highest paid players. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
So that makes sense. So yeah. So Kyle says if I click tag, it will show you them out. Okay. So let me be honest. Let me look around. Let's look. Actually, let me pull up my notes on my team real quick.
Okay. So if you click, it says that Kyle Monangai will get paid $53 million.
Hey!
I'm not trying to do that. So Kyle, what if I want to extend Monangai without tagging him? I don't want to tag him, but I want to keep him on my team.
Yeah, I'm looking at it.
Yeah, when can I hand out contract extensions? Because I'm not paying $56 million for Monangai.
So what do you rather do? Extend him?
Yeah, I would prefer to extend him and not pay him $56 million for 1 year.
Yeah, that's a good question, Kyle. If you hit someone with the franchise tag, does it work like the NFL where you can?
So I can't. So I'm gonna. So if I don't tag him, he's going to go into free agency, and I have to bid on him again.
Yeah, but if you franchise tag someone, can you? Can you extend them?
Okay. So Kyle's saying extension is only available during the season.
Like you know how NFL teams they franchise tag someone, but then they want to extend them.
Yeah.
Can you do that? And what number will count against the cap? I guess.
So like it sounds like if you tag him, you can't extend him until the season starts. So that $56 million cap is going to hold until he's extension eligible. Oh, once you tag a player, there's a tag extension. Huh? Kyle, we might need you to come up here and talk to us. Because
I guess tag extension meaning you can extend.
Kyle, we just gonna invite you in here. Where in the hell?
All right. So right now I'm looking at my team, and based off who is now under contract. Yeah. So let's see. Josh Allen expires in 27. Breece Hall and Josh Jacobs both in 2026. Puka in 27, Jetta's in 28, and then I believe Dalton Schultz. Yes, I got Dalton Schultz until 2026. Okay,
I only have $4 million tied in cap right now. Like I have $148 million to spend.
And you're saying I only got 67 million to 67.
Yeah, it looks like you only got 67 to spend. Like you're spending.
And is this reflective of the new Kyle? Is this reflective of the new salary cap? Do you know?
I sent Kyle the link. He said he's gonna come on in 5 minutes. Because I'd like to extend Mike Evans. I'd like to extend Kyle Monangai.
Well, as I'm looking at my roster right now, I have a QB under contract to 27, 2 running backs under contract till the end of this upcoming season through 2026. Jettas through 28, Puka through 27, Dalton Schultz through 26. So I got key positions locked up.
And I would like to
so now
positions up because I have some talent.
Now I could use a wide receiver too. So if I was a franchise anyone, I might start Chris Olave.
And then I have like a whole bunch of draft picks. So what's the pool of money? So the draft pick.
Oh, fuck! Chris Olave, what are we talking about, sir?
$50 million. That's what I'm saying. So does he, and the way the draft works, right? So I have 102. What does that mean since this is an auction league to have 102?
I don't know. Damn. All right, Michael Wilson. Oh, wow. I'm not paying Michael Wilson $50
million. Yeah, like
all right, here's another one I could do. Harold Fanning Jr. Harold Fanning Jr. at $32 million.
It's not bad, but again, and we can ask when Kyle gets home. For me, it's if I tag someone now, like does that $54 million cap hold stand until I extend Kyle Monangai during the season when he's eligible for an extension?
I need to see who. Damn. This is a championship team right here. I'll tell you what.
Okay, so in the draft in the cap overview, it tells you how much salary you have to commit to rookies. I think. Here he is.
Here we go.
Where's he at? Hold on, where you at, Kyle?
Rookie draft commitment.
There he is. Hello, Kyle.
Hey guys.
How's it going, Kyle?
Thanks for having me on. So defounded, first off, your one question about like you can see it won't break it down pick by pick, but this you can see how much like okay, this is the total of my picks will cost me this much.
Gotcha. Okay.
Rookie draft salary commitment. So D's 4 picks would be 10 million. Yours is probably going to be a little more because you have extra picks.
Mm-hmm.
And it is structured. D has the cheapest pick in every round because it is structured where, like the NFL draft, the first overall pick gets more than the second overall pick. So your 102 is going to cost you more than D's 1.
Gotcha. Now, Kyle, with the NFL coming out with the new salary cap today,
this has already changed because these amounts weren't the same even like a few days ago. So they've just changed this now. I think when the official announcement, because I was looking at one of my other RSO leagues and. Just last week, I saw 3 teams were over the cap starting this season, and then suddenly everyone's above the cap now and under the cap because the salary changes have come into effect. So officially now in our RSO leagues, the salary cap is $300 million.
So Darius, can you go back up because yours says team salary $233. Oh, because the 2 combined should equal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Yep. Current salary cap space. Yeah.
So Kyle, right now, the 2 players I could see myself just based off of what my team needs. I have a lot of good players locked in for a couple years. So right now I'm looking at Chris Olave and Harold Fanning Jr. Let's start with Chris Olave. So right now they're saying if I was a franchise tag him that he would cost me 50 of my 63 million right now that I have, right?
And that's because the franchise tag is the top 5 of the position. So I'm looking at wide receiver right now, and our top 5 are and it's per league, right? So the tag will be different league to league depending. We have Malik Neighbors, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Drake London, and CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb making $45 million, Malik Neighbors $56 million. Anyway, the average of those 5 ends up being basically $50 million. So that's where Olave's number comes. Same thing at tight end, where Fannin with his.
Yeah, Fannin right now, his tag is 32, basically 33 million. So now I'm looking at it. Go ahead.
Well, yeah. So in our league, you got Bowers and McBride. 46.8 for Bowers, 44.4 million for McBride. Then you have you have a big gap, and it's kind of the middle of that gap is where Fannin ends up. George Kittle at 26.8, Tucker Kraft at 26 million, and Sam Laporte at 21 million. Where the other tight ends come in for that tag. So that's where those tag amounts come in.
Gotcha.
Now, mention the tag extension. Do you guys want me to expand on that, or do you have any other questions?
Yes.
So they mentioned, and D, you read it out with the, it's 3 days before, the rookie draft. You have to put your franchise tag in. That's the deadline. Is essentially whenever a rookie draft is 3 days before. That's the deadline for franchise tags. But it also mentioned you can finalize your roster, and once that 3 day before the rookie draft hits, all our rosters will finalize. What will happen then is you notice, because right now we still have players on our team that, all the tag eligible players that are about to become free agents. If you look at the current free agent pool, none of them are listed because they're still technically on our rosters, even though there's no salary commitments. Mm-hmm. Because at this current moment, we are still technically in the 2025 season. That 3 days before the rookie draft, that essentially kicks off the 2026 season when it comes to contracts.
Gotcha.
And that's when everything will change over. So all these players that are zero, they'll no longer be on our roster. They'll all be in the free agent pool, and that'll feed the list for the auction at that point. Now, at any point, you can finalize your roster at any point. There's a couple advantages to doing that. The one advantage is if you tag a player and you want to trade them, you can't trade them until you finalize your roster.
Gotcha.
So if you want to make that trade happen, you have to finalize your roster, and then you'll be able to trade your tag player. You can trade any other player right now that you have currently under contract, but specifically the franchise tag player, if you do want to trade them in the offseason, you have to finalize your roster first.
Okay.
The other thing is, once you finalize your roster, then those extensions become available. Now, you asked another question, D, that I actually can't answer, is what is the amount in the extensions? You saw how it worked in the in-season extensions, right? Stuff was kind of random all over the place. There's a bit of a formula, but it's a really complex algorithm. There's no quite rhyme or reason. Some player values are crazy high, out of control. Others are super cheap. The tag extensions end up being the same. You don't really ever know what it's going to be until you click that button to see what that amount is. In my experience, it typically lowers the cap hit at least in year one, because if it's a franchise tag player, they're probably going to be a big 4-year extension. So that 4th year, that cap hit's going to be pretty big. But the way contracts always work in RSO is that it's always backloaded. So the lowest cap hit's always going to be year one of the contract.
Okay.
So in my experience with that, sometimes, like, let's say it's Fannin and you want to extend Fannin, the average extension might be around 32 million, which means the first 2 years you're not paying 32 million, but you'll be paying more than 32 when it comes to 2029.
Okay.
But it also might be higher, and it all depends. Players' production, like where they finished rank, points per game. So it's interesting. You don't ever really know what it's going to be until, again, you actually click that extension amount and see.
So if D wanted to extend Olave, he would tag him, finalize his roster, and then extend Chris Olave.
Yeah. And then
for whatever the extension eligible is. And if you So say D does that, and then he's like, man, I don't want to offer Chris Olave this much money. Then Chris plays under the franchise tag this year.
And then next year, you'd just be a free agent again. If you wanted to tag him a second time, you can. I think it's then a 120% increase on whatever it was this year.
Okay.
So it'll be.
Oh, I can. So you're saying I can tag Chris Olave now, then extend him at a price that might work better against my cap?
At least for this year. I would imagine your cap hit this year is going to be less than 50 million. But if it's a 4-year extension, that 2029 cap hit might be 55 million, right? And it might not be. It might still be around the 50 million. Who knows? But like typically, these extensions, especially tag extensions, they'll stay pretty close. Like the average per year over the 4-year length is probably close to what the tag amount is. Maybe a little bit under. But yeah, you likely will save money at least in year one on that tag extension. and relative to
Now,
what the franchise.
in
tag.
y'all's opinion, where do you think the value for me may lie? Extending Olave at 50 or Fannin Jr. at 32, given
I'd say
that my other
Fannin.
tight end is Dalton Schultz?
I'd say Fannin.
Like
Yeah,
I have
How long
Puka
left
at,
did you have on Schultz too?
Just a year.
26.
Okay, so this is the final year, which is, and to me, it's a nice cheap 1 year guy to have. So maybe you think, okay, if you extend Fannin, are you committing yourself to Fannin being your tight end one? That's maybe a position in the auction you're not really going to go after aggressively. If you can get a cheap Schultz contract, you'll do that, but you're committing to, I'm going to put all my tight end resources into Fannin being that guy, which I think is justifiable. I know in my dynasty rankings, I think I've got him at tight end 6. So
Yeah.
definitely a tight end. And then this is a tight end premium league. So I believe it's 1.75.
Yeah.
Almost
my thing is, if I tag Fannin, that likely allows me to go out and maybe fill my super flex position with an actual quarterback. Because the thing about Olave, I could have 3 wide receiver ones essentially with Puka, Jettas, and Olave, and then I'm just, I got Josh Allen, I got Brees and Josh Jacobs for 2 more years. I'm just basically filling out the roster with dudes who can help, a bunch of bench players, a bunch of Jags, and which is doable. But I don't know if I'm gonna get some of the same luck that I had last year with guys like Joe Flacco filling in for Joe Burrow and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, and it's funny because there aren't a lot of teams that have 2 quarterbacks. That is one luxury you have, Danny, having Baker and Lamar, is that you actually do have 2 quarterbacks. And I'm looking at, there are several teams that might have 2, but the second guy is questionable. Might only have 1 guy under contract going into this year. Bam has, I think, did we literally just see Bam franchise tag Caleb Williams before our eyes?
Yeah, he said he said in the comments that Caleb Williams just cost him 40.
Well, I was looking at Bam's roster. He didn't have a quarterback under contract this year, and he had Bo Nix and Caleb. So it seemed logical to me for Bam to tag one of his quarterbacks. Deciding which one to do is up to him. He clearly chose Caleb. The tag amount's going to be the same regardless. So
right.
The extension amounts, however, might be different. But again, we'll never know until at this point. We would never know because we will never know exactly what Bo Nix's extension would have been in this league in particular.
I could probably. Danny, I could probably find some wide receivers that are decent. It's hard to find in a tight end premium league. Harold Fannin, I mean, he's clearly tight end 1 over there. And he might be wide receiver 1 on their team, to be honest with you.
But now, and I mean, to Bam's point of the consequences of this, Bam now has the least amount of cap space in the league.
Yeah.
He's got $3 million less than my buddy Mark, who very aggressive in trading and he notoriously plays it like he'll push the cap to the extreme all the time. So it's not a surprise to see him as one of the highest cap hits going into this. Now, anyone else that wants to tag a player, it's going to be again at pretty expensive amounts. Maybe that's justifiable. I mean, it looks like the quarterback cap amount was actually less than the wide receiver
and the running back got 2, I believe.
So
yeah, a lot of folks are paying for.
To your point, D, I mean, the tight end position is the value position when it comes to the tag amount. And I've played a lot of RSO leagues just doing that, and maybe not to 32 million, but where the tight end tag was so much less than any other position. If I had a tight end worth tagging, that was the position I was going to franchise.
And we only get 1 tag, right?
Yes,
1 tag
and 1 extension, which I like because it makes this a tough decision. You might extend the player that you tag, but then you do not have an in-season extension.
I can't.
So you have to choose. You can choose to, Bam could choose to just, and same with you, D. You could choose to just have these guys play on the tag and still get an extension in season. I believe the tag players will not be eligible for an in-season tag or an in-season extension, but any other player that you have, you could extend. So if you're set on this is the player you're probably going to extend, you do have to do it now. But if you just want to tag them and see, you could wait and then use the extension in season on a different.
So you only you only get 1 extension. You're right, Cal. That's cool. I like
and that's why I'm just going to be transparent with my strategy. I'm not tagging anybody. No one on my team on an expiring contract really seems worth it for the big hit. And I know what I'm doing with my extension. I'm already earmarking. I don't care how expensive it's going to be. I'm probably extending Jackson Dart in season. And so I do not want to tag someone and use up my extension right now. I think that the value is waiting for Jackson Dart with his, year 2 of his contract that's going to be expiring, and that's where I'm probably going to use my extension.
Okay. So,
and knowing that, I'm also, I guess the rest of it is more just now for my greedy purposes of potentially selling a quarterback, because I do have 3 quarterbacks under contract.
Okay.
So I'm in the position where I could be selling. I was looking at Bam with no one and thinking, okay, I might sell a quarterback to Bam. Be the first time this offseason I've done that. And Bam still might be in the market, to be fair, but certainly tagging Caleb, knowing that, okay, Bo Nix will be in the auction. Bam might view himself as a chance to still win another quarterback in the auction, or he might still be in the trade market. But I know I'm going to be probably shopping both Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels this offseason just to see what people are willing to buy, with the intent of selling one of them, not both. And I'll figure out what is the better route for me to go down. Because I like having Jackson Dart on this super cheap contract for this year. And again, we'll see what the extension amount is. Who knows until it happens, right? You never really know. It could be wild and extreme, but that's kind of my route of how I plan to go with the tag. So you don't have to tag a player. You could just say that none of the players I have are worth tagging, and I'd rather just, if I really want to keep this player, I feel like I'll just buy him in the auction for probably less than the tag.
Right.
So Kyle, based off this, so this new number now is my updated cap space after franchise tag in Bannon, right?
Yes, exactly. As soon as you make the move, it'll update it automatically.
And
again,
then
for both D and Bam, until you finalize your roster, you can remove the tag. So if you want to you don't have to finalize right now and hold it. You can always, again, that deadline 3 days before the rookie draft, at any point you can remove the tag if you change your mind.
I think I'm okay, because I got a lot of other key guys kind of locked up in positions. So once I finalize, that's when I can approach Chris Olave about the extension.
No,
Bannon.
Okay.
You'd have to buy Olave in the draft. The auction.
So now, and by doing this, D, you guarantee Olave will be available in the auction. So that's the one type of control is any of these other players on your team that aren't fanning, those players will be in the auction. So you'll at least have the opportunity to get them back.
Yeah, can you explain the draft pick situation then?
So in terms of the salary,
I got 110.
Yeah. So again, if you go to your cap overview, you called it earlier, the rookie draft salary commitment, that's $10 million for those 4 picks combined.
So then, but what does this pick mean then if we're auctioning them?
Well, they're not auctions. They work. It actually does work a lot like the NFL, right? If you think of free agency as an auction where teams bid on players, the rookie salaries are slotted to this pick is this much money, this pick is this much money.
Oh, so we just didn't do a rookie draft. We did
exactly
auction for everybody because Okay.
My opinion is that a rookie draft is unfair in year 1 because even if you do it as a snake draft, there's still a huge advantage disproportionate between like who gets 101 and who gets 110. There's a salary difference, but there's usually like the quality difference of player usually doesn't make up for it. Last year, if we did it, maybe someone gets Jackson Dart at the 110 in the rookie draft. And like that ends up actually being the best rookie contract going forward. But a lot of the times it's off the bat, how do you give the 101 to one team and say 110? And because like I've seen some people, okay, if you do a rookie draft and a startup draft, you reverse the order. So whoever has the 101 in the rookie draft has the 112 in the startup draft. But typically you're not like, even that I find unfair because like the drop off from like in the startup draft, like that 112 is still an amazing player. Mm-hmm. Typically that difference between that rookie 101 and that rookie 112 is massive. So but like if you wanted to at least balance it out, you could that way because RSO is an auction startup. There's no way to balance that out, right? Like you couldn't, I guess you could like, okay, the team that had the 101, maybe they have less money in the auction, but I don't know. I always view it as fair to just throw the rookies in the auction in year 1. There's no rookie draft, which means that the league dynamic is definitely different from year 1 to year 2, which is fun because it's kind of a slightly different experience when you get to year 2. And what we do in year 2 is going to this is how it's going to be every year. So we start the offseason with, again, the franchise tag decisions, get to the rookie draft. Once the rookie draft happens, that's when, you have that time span between, again, 3 days before the rookie draft to 3 days before the auction to decide on those tag extensions.
Okay.
anytime in the meantime, you can still make trades. So we could.
So you're saying it's a good thing I won. Basically, what I'm hearing is it's a good thing I won year one, because year two, boy, it may not be looking so
well. And that's the beauty of the RSO. You can see teams flip around a lot more quickly than you could in like traditional Dynasty, which we still see some teams like change year over year in Dynasty, but in RSO, because of the auction draft, it kind of, no team ever feels like, oh, if 1 year is so bad and your roster is gutted, well, the next year you probably, if you don't have any good players, then you have so much more cap space that you have more power in the next year's auction. So the teams that are really strong and committed to a bunch of players, well, their power in the auction the next year isn't great, but that's okay because you've got the roster kind of set up. So it makes it so that, like, really every team is a wild card every year. Like, anything can kind of happen in an RSO league. So yeah, no, you're right, D. It's always good to win year one, but like, you might miss the playoffs this next year, right? And no fault of your own, just the circumstances. We'll see. I mean, you manage your team pretty well, so that might be a surprise, to be honest. But we also have a lot of really good managers in this league, so no one. I don't envision any team being awful. And I think that, like, what was it? I think all but one team were alive entering the last week of the regular season.
Yeah.
Like, even the worst team in the league, I think, had 4 wins this year. So, or last year. So, like, this is a tough league because all 10 managers, I know 8 of the 10 people in the league, and the other 2, from seeing them play 1 year, they seem like solid managers that know what they're doing. Like, there's no easy wins. There's no any team that I envision being a complete awful disaster of a team any given year, right? Someone might have a really bad season, but
this is my smallest entry, but by far, this might be the most intriguing league year to year in terms of, I want to win this because this makes you feel like a real GM. I'm not gonna hold you. Looking back on it and look going through all this, I'm like, yo, I really year one just stepped in this bitch and won this and had no idea what I was doing on a week to week basis, setting this shit up. I was just putting people in lineup, tagging folk. Man, look. For shits and giggles, what the hell was this Elic Aomanor extension? Unless this dude turns out to be wide receiver 1, this might be one of the most hilarious extensions ever. Because
it's funny because I gave a really similar extension to Luther Burden, and the advantage there is it's a cheap contract. Like, this is a guy you hold on your roster, and even if he never sees your starting lineup, there's value in when I go into an auction every year, he lowers my average that I need to spend per player, that I have, like, he ups that amount that I have available to spend per player.
Yeah.
So that's I like doing those cheap extensions, and that was so I was kind of in a similar vein to you, D, with like, okay, the rookie who's kind of hasn't really produced. He's flashed, but hasn't produced enough to where his extension amount is anything higher than like the minimum. So
yeah.
That's the appeal of Aomanor.
For this right here, I just sorted it. I just sorted my roster by salary. This is my core roster right here that I'm going into the year with. A lot of money in these workhorses. Breece Hall, this Josh Allen contract, boy. Ooh, good money. But Breece Hall, he gonna be my highest paid player, and he on a franchise tag on the Jets. Hey, New York, do right by him. Send him to Philly or something. I don't know.
To Philly.
Send him somewhere. I don't know. So, okay, so I'm feeling good. I'm okay with finalizing this, and I feel like, in the auction draft, I'm going to be probably attacking a QB and then a bunch of Jags. But I feel like I can make some.
Come trade for Baker.
Nah, I think I want to hope that Chris Olave can work something out in this auction draft. Maybe I can give him some money that, 34 million I got to work with, Kyle. 34 million.
Yeah.
All right, let's rock with it.
And I mean, you can still cut players, and you can, like, there are still ways to save money. If you put a player on injured reserve going into the auction, you will save the money, but not the roster spot, and that actually helps you at that point, because then it's one less roster spot you need to fill in the auction, so your average goes up. Once the auction's over, that roster spot will be open to add that player to fill your roster. But it's a weird thing where there are still ways to save money at this point of the year. If you cut any player, it's half their cap hit is half of all future years you have of them. Now,
okay.
if you wait till after the rookie draft, if you wait till after the auction to cut a player, then you eat their entire cap hit for this season.
Okay.
But
Ooh.
future years you would still save. But if you do it before the auction, you still save that as being a future year.
Okay. So in theory, if I wanted to cut Baker next year when his cap hit is $46 million, if I did it before the auction, I'd be on the hook for 23.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
If you cut Evan Ingram this year, I think his cap hit would be like just under $8 million, 7.75, whatever it is.
Okay. So out of curiosity, let's look at what the number.
I was gonna say if you finalize, you may as well see what the extension is. So yeah, the average is going to be just a little under. But again, it's always backloaded. So your cap hits in 26 and 27 are going to be less than that 31 million. Let's say it's 29 million this year, 30 million in 27, 32 and 28 and 33 and 29. So it's actually probably spread out further than that. So your cap is probably going to be.
And if I do this, wait, go ahead.
And as you said, this extension can't be withdrawn once. This is fully guaranteed, or like that 50% guaranteed the rest of the way. Fully guaranteed for this year and 50% guaranteed.
And then you can't extend anyone during the season. This is your only extension until next off season.
And again, you have up until I think it's 3 days before the auction to actually do this. So you don't have to do this now, but just know this option.
I guess, but
he's already finalized his roster though, right?
Yeah,
so Harold
I've already finalized my roster.
He's playing on the
tag. He's going to play on the tag for sure. If you want to trade Fannin, you can do that now. Yeah.
So I guess my question is, so if I extend him so I can get more money in my cap, then I can still in the auction look to sign players for multi-year deals. So that way it's just every year I'm just finding new people. Howie, I get it.
I'm gonna guess you'll
save it, Howie.
Probably $6 million this year, maybe a little less than that, but that's probably what you'll save on your cap by extending it. Right?
So I'd have
lower this year's cap it, and
so I could maybe have somewhere around like 40 million. And then if I extend them this year, and I won't be able to extend anyone until next season. Correct. But if I just plan on building multi-year contracts, maybe a decent market value. And
I've also definitely chained tag extensions like a year. Like, okay, I tag extend Justin Jefferson 1 year. Okay, so I don't have an extension the next off season. Well, I couldn't extend Nico Collins. That's okay. I'll just tag extend Nico Collins. Right. And so I didn't have an extension last year. Now this year, I'm looking in that same particular league at maybe tagging a running back, and that's probably where I'm not going to extend. That would just be when it was Jefferson or Nico Collins. Those are franchise wide receivers I want to build around long term. Javonte Williams, Travis Etienne, I'm probably willing to eat a 1 year big cap on them, but not extend them. So now this is the year in that particular league where I think I'm gonna break that cycle, and for the first time in like 2 or 3 years, actually have an extension available in season. But again, that's just circumstances. Like what are the players that are best doing it? And like Danny, are you considering not tagging anybody?
I'm still debating on Kyle Monangai. If anyone gets to tag, it's him.
I was going to say if something happens to Swift, right? Like if the Bears release Swift or they trade him, or Rico Dowdle signs a really good spot in free agency and he's like a lead back, that might be your tag. But again, like if let's say Rico Dowdle does that, right? And he's in a good spot, it looks good for a year or two. You tag him, the extension's probably going to be like a 3 or 4 year extension. Are you really willing to put that? Like that might be an example where you just let the player play on the tag and then see what your extensions are.
Yeah. All right. For me, it's definitely what happens to DeAndre stuff. Because the only person I'm interested in tagging is.
And then again, I think it's totally valid to just say I'm not tagging anyone because it's just not worth it. And if you want to win Monangai back in the auction, you might you'll be willing to maybe pay less than that tag, but still maybe more than most people, and you might win him that way. So by doing it, you guarantee he's in the auction, right? So no matter what, you'll always at least have the opportunity to have these players, but.
Last thing for me, I don't know if you guys were chatting, I went ahead and extended Harold Fannin. So I went all in on Harold Fannin. So you'll see now Harold Fannin is signed through the 2029 season. So me and Harold Fannin are going to be friends. And go ahead.
Well, I've definitely seen people do that too, right? Where if they have a player that's just so worth it, they They don't wait, right? As soon as they can tag him, they finalize the roster and extend them immediately. And it's like, here, it's done. This is in. I'm locking this player in. So it's if you really believe in the player, it's not horrible to do it. I don't think because what we see in season is that those extension amounts might fluctuate, but I believe that's based on production. So I don't think the tag extension amounts change. So whatever that 31 million per year extension, that would have been the same probably all the way through.
Yeah.
Whereas when you get to the in-season extension, sometimes you do see week to week those prices change. If the player outproduced or underproduced, like you'll see some fluctuation. Not every contract, but with some, I've noticed.
Okay.
I gotta listen. Every year, I feel like I'm gonna have some free agents. I'm gonna have a little free agency right here. But this is a solid nucleus of players at different positions that I got locked up. And this also gives me. So I have about 40 million to work with to fill 5 starting spots in a bench. So, once we fill out the starting lineup, it's going to be a lot of vet minimums. I'll tell you what.
Well, and that's the thing, and those are 500,000, right? So just whatever your vet minimum number is, just divide that in half, and that's like that. That's what you have to subtract from your total cap hit. And then what you have the rest of the way is. Like if you literally went 500,000 on each of your bench spots, and, however many bench spots you have, divide that number in half, take that from your salary cap. That's what you would have on your starters. On a plate like that.
Smart. I like it. Listen,
I hope I've explained the functions of RSO. Yeah, other stuff will come up. I know we're talking about certain things right now. The injured reserve, right? Like I don't know what you guys think of the discussions we're having with potential rule changes, or if you got any questions.
I'm still reading through it and trying to figure out what everyone's talking about. So,
okay, well, I guess I could explain it to you here. So the first one that looks like no one else is really interested in, this is more my idea, was all play during the playoffs. So instead of it being head-to-head matchups, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5, that week 15, but then also that week 16 matchup, literally it's just everyone plays. The 4 teams that are playing in that round play. The 2 highest scores move on. The 2 lowest are eliminated.
Okay.
Just having weeks 15 and 16 be like that. Technically, week 17 would also be all play. It's just there's only 2 teams playing, so it's always all play in that case. But yeah, so that's one. The other one is, so we have 4 injured reserve spots right now. There's one, we're allowed to bring 1 player off IR per season right now. So of the 4 IR spots, you can only activate 1 player off IR. And so the discussion right now is expanding that number. We go to 2, 3, or potentially all 4 players that you can bring up off IR. So that's just kind of the discussion that's happening right now. I'm probably going to put a poll on that. Probably the first poll I'll do is, do we want to expand beyond 1? The DTIR means designated to return.
Okay.
So yeah, you see that DTIR thing, that's what that means. So right now we only have 1 DTIR spot with 4 injured reserve spots. So if you want to activate, you get to choose 1 player to activate off IR.
Okay.
Putting a player on IR will save you half of their cap hit for whatever season you decide to do that on. But when you activate them, you also have to make sure you have enough money to reactivate it. Okay. Our salaries, however, work weekly. So whatever your amount, the amounts will always stay the same in the off season because no weeks have gone by. But as soon as week 1 goes by, those contract amounts, they've accrued, they're 1/17 less of a cap hit.
Yeah.
So, and the rule, I have it set up. I believe it's 4 weeks on injured reserve. A player has to be on IR for 4 weeks before you could activate them off IR. So when 4 weeks go by, their cap hit is less than what it was 4 weeks prior because
they've received
4 weeks have accumulated. So that also works if you trade a player in season, you only pay for what they have the rest of the year.
Okay.
So you each essentially if you say Danny, you and D each trade a player back and forth, or Danny, better example. The team you took over, I made a trade with Tony Pollard for Chuba Hubbard, right? So, whatever week it happened, I would have had to take, let's say maybe it was 2 weeks of Tony Pollard's salary before I traded Hubbard, and then so I would have a certain amount of Pollard's salary for the season, but then the rest of Hubbard's the rest of the way, and then vice versa.
Gotcha.
Now, I still have Hubbard because it was a 2-year contract. Pollard, no. So that's why Pollard's an extending contract for you. Probably not going to be a guy you franchise.
Gotcha. Okay. It's making sense.
And of course, yeah, things might come up. So feel free to ask in the chat anytime. Whether it's me or someone else, we'll certainly.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I'm so ready to defend this title, and I'm excited with this nucleus of guys that I got to start the season with. I think we may have something here. I think we may have something here, and y'all better.
I know you guys like doing trades, but yeah, this is a league where there's enough people. I know there weren't many trades last year, but I wonder if that flips this year. There's several of us that are avid traders. I'm certainly looking to make moves this offseason now.
Yeah.
I've already traded AJ Brown to Danny once, and maybe I do it again.
I'm no AJ Brown stock for me right now.
It's honestly it's an expiring contract. It's probably not the best to trade for anyway. Just a 1-year rental.
How do you can you label a player available for trade?
We do have a trade block. I use it so rarely, I forget how you get to that again. If you go under the league tab, there is a trading block, and I think from there you can edit your trade block and players that are available, or positions that are available, or positions you need. You can add extra comments. So,
oh yeah, Bucky Irvin's.
Mark is an avid trade block guy. He in all the leagues I'm in, he's always the first one to update his trade block constantly. So, I don't know. Maybe this isn't a league that's super trade block heavy. I might get back into the habit of using it more if I see more people are using it. Sorry, Mark.
Yeah.
I always talk trades with Mark anyway, so I don't have to look at his trade block. We're just always discussing. But I know neither of you chimed in on the trade I made with Bam, so I was curious if Bam wanted to rehash
What does TQB mean?
TQB, where do you see that?
Position needed, it's TQB. Never mind. I'm gonna just add a comment. Open to trading for players.
I'm trying to show your screen.
Yeah, okay, I see that too. Yeah, that's weird. I mean, there's a QB running back. I mean, I wonder if because we have an open flex. That is weird. I've yeah. I don't know what the TQB means. That one escapes me. I see that too. Trying to get 2 QBs? Is that what that means? Like, I'm so desperate. I need to trade for 2.
I don't know. I just went ahead and said I'm open to all positions. My comment is open to trading for players on contracts next couple of years for draft picks. My championship window is now. I'm gonna go for it.
Okay. Now,
Kyle, we appreciate you joining us. We definitely, when we get closer to the season and maybe after the NFL draft and we start getting into rookie drafts across some dynasty leagues, we can bring you back and we can start talking about some rookies. Maybe bring Jamie on too, bring some more Born for Two guys in here, start talking to us about some rookies that we should be excited about. But my brother, we're going to talk a little NBA, Daddy. I think we can save that for next week, get a little bit more NBA talk. And I think this is some good talk, and I'm just makes me more excited for the fantasy season.
Yeah, man.
Man, Kyle, thank you again. Kyle, let the good people know where they can find you.
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter at Senra Says. But probably most importantly, check out the Fantasy Six Pack YouTube channel. I know Joe Bond and Jeff Lambert are both good friends, so the connection between the two great channels that everyone should subscribe to, whether it's Going for Two Live or Fantasy Six Pack. On the Fantasy Six Pack channel, you mentioned Jamie Pirogue, who's my co-host on Dynasty Six Pack. We also have Rahul Natarajan, who is another Going for Two contributor. So definitely picked from Going for Two on that. Thanks, Jeff. But most importantly, thanks, Danny and D. Always love watching the show every week and love talking.
Wait a minute. Hold on, you sly little fox. I just saw this. How did I miss this?
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah.
Second round pick for Anthony Richardson. Who got who?
Oh, that's Kyle and Bam. You just saw that? That happened like 3 days ago. The commissioner don't know what happened in his own league.
That happened that was like a full week ago. That was like 6 days ago.
That was a minute ago. You see Greg and them commenting Rojo?
That was on Friday. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? Well, it was on Friday, so D was probably doing all his DJing and
Yeah.
stuff,
Let's
right?
go and make up an excuse for him. It's Tuesday, Kyle.
Well, it's Tuesday. We're gonna talk about it. So I guess we know your thoughts. Like, again, I thought this is what Richardson should be valued at. Apparently, no one else thinks that. So I'm glad I didn't negotiate with anyone else.
Well, I think it's because his future's up in the air. Like, I feel like if we had a better idea of what's his next, he hasn't secured a trade yet. Who's going to trade for him, and is he going to start? Like, it's definitely a bold.
He might start in Indy if
trade for
Daniel Jones isn't ready, right?
Yeah,
so
like him in Miami, like him and Jalen Waddle. Like, you could talk me into that.
So my super flex philosophy is that, if you're a starting quarterback, you should at least be worth the first. If you're a really good starting quarterback, it'll be more than the first.
Yeah.
Third round picks is what I'll spend on the spot starter backups. Oh, this guy is taking over for an injured quarterback for like Mac Jones last year.
Mm-hmm.
I would have bought Mac Jones for third, sold him for a third. But any quarterback that has the chance to potentially, they're not a starter now, but they have the chance to potentially start for not just a spot starter, but a good chunk of the season. Those are the guys I value in seconds. And with Richardson, it's the high upside. So whether it's him or Malik Willis, like those are guys I'd value at like second round picks. So I know Greg's really mad in the chat because he's honestly the only reason this trade happened is because Greg reached out to me and asked what Anthony Richardson was worth. And I sent him the offer of a second. He sent me a third back. And okay, well, no, I'll hold. If it's just a third, I'd rather just hold him and wait and see what happens if he's traded, right? But if you want him right now, I'll sell him for a second with the kind of baked in the price that he has potential to start, right? Like selling him at his absolute ceiling. I noticed Bam only had one quarterback, so I sent him the offer and we went back and forth. And yeah,
if Greg ever makes an offer, add a round. That's what I do. Like if Greg is offering me a third, that means that person's worth a second.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Greg, I told him to send me an offer, right? Like, okay, like I'm not sure what I exactly sell for me. You want me to? You send me a fair offer tonight, I'll accept. He's like, nah. Okay, well then wait for me to like tomorrow or a couple days, and I'll actually have time to send an offer. And he didn't like the offer I sent.
That's what I'm saying. I say the same thing.
Like, send me an offer. Sorry, Greg, but you had your chance. I definitely want to reach. I want to talk to both of you about trades actually, because I've got all these draft picks and I'm looking to buy quarterbacks, and you guys definitely have quarterbacks, specific quarterbacks I'm interested in. So,
give me some names.
Well, there's one name. I want Josh Allen. I feel like I have enough draft picks that whatever price you set at Josh Allen, I can pay it. Listen. Am I going to want to pay it? Maybe, maybe not. But D, like seriously, like no one else in this league would have the ammunition to trade for Josh Allen if there's a price. So you know that like if anyone's going to do it, it's me. I understand if there is no price and you're just for sure holding him. But if there is a price, if you can think of a price, at least let me know what it is and I'll see if I can match it.
Listen, Josh Allen accounts for so many points for my team that I don't know.
I want to trade for him.
He is our team. Like we can't. We are committed to Josh. I have suffered through a bad super flex year with the anticipation of unleashing Josh and another quarterback on the league. I can't do that to him right now.
I get a first round pick for Daniel Jones.
No, because I'm looking at if I'm not getting Josh Allen, I'm looking, okay, who's the next quarterbacks I'm getting?
Okay.
Then I'm gonna come to you and ask what's it gonna cost for Jaden Daniels, and then eventually D, I might circle back to, okay, what does Bo Nix cost? But I'm gonna work my way down. I want to figure out what basically all the top 15 quarterbacks are gonna cost, and I'm just gonna try and pick two that I could afford both. Like that's I'm trying to use all the pick ammunition I have right now to really build my quarterback the way I want it. Because Baker and Tua and Rodgers and Geno Smith does not seem like a good super flex room. So definitely, yeah. I'll come up with trade offers. And Bam, I would love Lamar Jackson, but I imagine that there's no way you're ever going to move Lamar Jackson, so I won't even bother because
he will. He will. Because he needs picks. I bet you if you made the right price for Lamar.
I feel like he needs quarterbacks, right? So
he needs picks more than anything.
I'll give you picks and Baker. Like if that can get me Lamar, Bam, like definitely you can hit me up on that. Like like Lamar. And I'm
Daniel Jones, so he's gonna get Daniel Jones. Bam only got Daniel Jones money.
Well, you know what? And then he'll have Jones and Richardson. He'll have a guaranteed starter regardless, right? So that actually is pretty smart, right? That maybe that's the master plan, and we're all idiots.
It might
You
be.
just let Richardson go away, right? I mean, you guys aren't idiots. It would just be.
I can't believe I just saw your message, Kyle.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Again, probably I imagine. I think I sent it on the weekend, so you've probably been pretty busy. So.
Yeah, he has. It sounds like he ain't been in the league all weekend.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm working those DJ gigs. It's fine. It's great.
Man. All right. Well, I'm looking at my team in this league, and I'm saying, hey, I got draft capital. A first, a second, 3/3. What do I really need? I might just need better players, like some better overall players. So,
like, all of our teams can say that, right? Like that's
it's like
all these draft picks.
I mean, I understand I've had some injuries, but like I can't be shelling out Jordan Mason. I can't be shelling out. Honestly, I can't be shelling out Khalil Shakir anymore. Quinshon Judkins is hurt. I forgot.
I'm so excited for my team this year. We're gonna make some noise.
But he's expected to be ready for camp, so I don't know.
When Jeremiah Love hits this backfield, skip.
And who knows, Danny? You might get some other rookies too out of that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. My big board is ready. I'm ready to go. We could draft tonight.
Yeah. Like, what am I going to do about Tajay Spears? Curious. Ramondre Stevenson's an intriguing one because he might kick up next year if they keep him.
I've got him in an RSO league, and it's kind of nice to have him on the contract. Like, okay, that's a running back. If I need to go in the lineup, he'll at least get work, even if Henderson maybe takes over more role. Like, I feel okay enough about Stevenson.
And then I'm
rostering, he might even be worth starting at times.
I got Devin Neal. Curious on what that's going to look like in New Orleans. JJ McCarthy, that's the one. I mean,
yeah, I've got a salary cap contract league where McCarthy's my QB2. Him and Geno Smith are the QB2 behind Lamar Jackson. It's
honestly,
man, doesn't really feel like I've got much behind Lamar. I kind of feel like Bam in that sense.
Yeah, that's scary.
Maybe is there any way I can put JJ McCarthy on my taxi squad?
No, I think at this point he'll be a third-year player. Yeah, you could put Devin Neal on your taxi squad, maybe.
Yo, on everything I love, I would drop JJ McCarthy today, but
corrupt commissioner alert. He about to make the taxi squad 3 years.
No.
No, that's not.
Our commissioner is great. He wouldn't do something.
Oh no, he's great. I'm just playing around.
Yeah, no. He's your co-host, of course. Jamie and I make fun of each
other. I would cut JJ McCarthy before I try to lobby for a 3-year taxi squad now. What are the benefits to keeping JJ McCarthy?
None.
I mean, if he gets any start, that you can trade him to someone.
Yeah, one good week and someone will give you something of value for him.
Yeah, like tight end. Like
a third. He's earned a spot start backup status.
I would take a 28 third for JJ McCarthy.
Oh no, we gonna see. I'm curious to see what some of y'all's teams gonna look like. I don't think a lot of these teams that were good are going to be as good.
Yeah, that's been your theory for like the past 2 years. Like as soon as we agreed to Superflex, you've been like, yeah, these good teams are gonna be terrible.
Well, and
not terrible, but I think you were going to see it is going to shorten.
I did feel like my team was like, that's why I've kind of gotten all these picks, because I felt like, man, once we go to Superflex, I really don't think my team's going to be that great. So if I have draft picks, I can now have the ammunition to maybe build the team the way I want to. So I got that sense from my team personally, that I really need to maximize these last 2 years, and this last year I finished third. Couldn't quite what Greg and Akili were doing with their rosters. Those guys, what? I think they combined lost like 4 games all year, and it was mostly to each other. So
yeah,
like those two were kind of untouchable in the season, and so it also felt like, man, this team, like I've maybe maximized what this current roster is. I've got to just reset because I don't think I can quite. As much as I finished third this year, I still didn't feel like I was really competing with Greg and Akili. I felt like there was a kind of it was those two and then everybody else.
I felt like as I was losing games. One, because I mean my horses were down, but two, I was just every week I was just looking at a QB sitting on my bench saying, "Yo, dog, if there was a position that I could put you in the gap would shrink immensely. Because I got wide receivers scoring 3-4 points. Meanwhile, Bo Nix is on a 40-point heater over on my bench because I can't start him over Josh Allen. So,
yeah, no, for sure. Yeah. Look out for D's team next year with all those quarterbacks. So.
Listen, and I'm willing to do business. I mean, Jared Goff. Somebody can come get Jared Goff, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I'm shooting as high as I can at quarterbacks with the quarterbacks I'm trying to acquire. But if those prices just aren't what I want to pay, I'm definitely going to circle back. I know, like, again, you got guys like Bo Nix and Goff. Like, definitely be interested to trade for those if the price was right, and B, like the guys I have ranked higher just weren't available, not available at the price I want.
Kyle, we appreciate you joining us. Danny, let the good people know where they can find you, my good brother.
You can find me on the bird at Danny Ocean 41. Speak on the _pod. We are here every single Tuesday. This was great. The RSO tutorial is what I needed.
Glad I could help. Yeah, it's quite a lot, especially even for somebody like D, you played it last year. There's still new mechanisms this year that we didn't encounter last season. So it's a good refresher, and maybe a good for all the listeners who haven't played RSO. Maybe good way to initiate into the fun concept. And it's never been easier because I don't know, Danny, if you like, you maybe don't appreciate it, but D, did you notice that you could just log in and not have to pay?
You did what?
Like you could just log in without paying on the site. The site fee is temporarily removed. They just RSO got bought out late in 2025 by some big company, and I think maybe there's like this. I don't know if you guys checked out on the page, the War Room. That's a completely new thing. So Danny, you're getting in right at the right time where this big money companies come in and kind of almost instantly made the product better, more accessible. I think maybe the suspension of the site fee is just as a way to get more people to join. Yeah. Is that a barrier that people weren't joining because you got to pay the league fee, like the league safe buy, and then you got to pay this? Well, as of right now, we don't. That doesn't mean that they won't have throw something at us closer to the season. But for now, we just got in without the site fee, so that's a good. That's less cost and more fun.
I'll take it.
I'll take it. Ladies and gentlemen, make sure you follow me at LosDMix. That's at LOSDEEMIX. Want to appreciate Kyle again for stopping in and giving us some RSO tutorials. As y'all know, being champion ain't easy. So having folks like Kyle that can commission your league and give you some solid advice on how you can improve each year is key. Danny, I hope that you find hope you're taking notes because I want you to come in and be competitive in the league in which
we will.
This is my yard. And
well, Danny might not have a ton of players. He's got good players on his roster, but he's got draft picks. He's got the most amount of draft picks that anyone has in 2026, and he's got up there on cap space.
Danny, let me look at you. What's your team? Let's
so my core players are Lamar, Baker, Hampton, Tet, and Evan Ingram.
And what's your team name again?
Harry Chess Mafia.
No, I'm talking about. Hold on, it's in here as Harry Chess Mafia.
Yeah.
Yes, that is me.
That's his team name.
I'm not seeing it.
What? I've been kicked out already. That's crazy.
I just opened the homepage. It's definitely there. So
here it is. I see it now. All right. Okay. I'm seeing maybe we can talk. Who you got under? Okay, all these players are who you got under contract. Okay, let's see. Let's look at your contracts real quick. Oh yeah, I don't know about some of it. Whoa, damn, Amari and Hampton. Goddamn.
Yeah, that's a really nice value on the Amari and Hampton contract. I'm basically paying Ashton Genty twice what Danny's paying Amari and Hampton.
That's right.
I may have given the rookie a little much last year. I definitely should have spent that on Puka Nacua instead. Damn. The champion did.
5 years on a Baker Mayfield contract. I don't think so.
Yeah, he's not gonna have to have a conversation.
I think that was the previous manager extended him in season. I think that's what that ended up being.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Baker not gonna have a conversation next year.
But I also know that means it's tougher to cut. I think you can still. I don't think it's fully guaranteed though. So I think there's still.
Let me give you a draft pick.
But I will say, Danny, cutting 4-year contracts, like the cap penalty, like it gets pretty stiff certain years. Like I think if you were to cut him, it'd be maybe save half this year, but next year you'd like eat all of the upcoming dead cap, and it would like the 2027 cap hit would actually double.
Okay.
Like it cutting long-term contracts when it's 3 or 4 year contracts, especially 4-year contracts, it's really tough that one of the years you get really screwed on the cap essentially.
Okay.
Just be careful of that there'll be maybe 1 year it's not so bad, but there's a year where it could just like, oh, all the rest of the dead cap hits are all pushed forward into this season.
Let me give you a 3rd round pick for Tyler Shuck.
He's not. He's going to go back into the.
Oh, you're a free agent? Never mind.
He's going to be a free
I'll
agent.
keep my draft pick. You just lost out.
I couldn't trade him if I wanted to because he's technically a free agent.
Yeah, don't worry. You're not going to keep him. Don't worry, buddy.
I mean, if you want to trade for him in Dynasty, he's on my roster there too.
Well, I was going to say, Danny, you just got to win Shuck back in the auction and then trade him for a 3rd.
Yeah.
For next year's 3rd, because our rookie draft, unlike the NFL, that's the one thing is the schedule is different. Our rookie draft happens before the auction, whereas real NFL, like we see a free agency is about to happen, and then the rookie draft later. That's the vets who run the PA that obviously vote for that because they're the vets and they want their money first before the rookies. So.
Which is fair enough, which I appreciate.
They've earned their way to the league to be the PA reps or presidents. So.
I love it.
Well,
all right.
Catch you guys next week.
We'll be back next week. We appreciate Kyle. Shout out to Bam, Jamie. We'll see you guys next week. Much love. Peace.